2 sessions are going to be combined into one, but that's not going to be that noticeable because it's all one combat.
Yeah, this is probably, for sure, the most complicated combat I've ever attempted as a GM.
There's like 4 levels of map, and there's a big shaft in the middle.
Still in the tower?
It is, yeah.
Well, I guess we'll get to it.
Yeah,
but
we'll
yeah,
get to
it's and just the sheer number of combatants and different types of combatants and things going on. Yeah.
We tried to run away partway through, but it just didn't happen.
But it didn't drag on either. Like it wasn't like it's dragging on. It's like it was tense the whole time. It just took a long time.
Lots of different things have happened. So, to begin with, when last we left our intrepid adventures, twice removed, we had cleared the lower levels of this tower, and there was like a. So the tower is a big, hollow, empty shaft, and in the middle, it turns out there's like this spherical chamber that's sort of lodged in the middle. So it forms like an inverted dome on the underside and a dome on the top when you go up further. And we were sort of at the little spiral staircase that goes between those 2 sections of the tower. So.
And at this time they thought they were probably almost at the top.
Yeah, well, if not almost at the top, we were like, we're getting out of the tower into other stuff.
They just interrogated that drow.
Yeah.
That was where we left off.
Yeah. So, Cricket's the best stealth. So she pokes her head, she goes up the little spiral staircase and pokes her head up to see what's ahead. And I completely flub the stealth roll. And so I see that there's a huge tower shaft with all the spiraling walkways going up around and the spikes and the crackling energy up the center column and all that kind of stuff.
It goes up really high.
Yeah.
Like they can see up about 5 stories before it just gets misty.
Yeah.
There's a light drizzle falling.
Yeah.
Because it's very misty.
And there's like drow and myconids all over the place, and they all see Cricket. They're like, it's Cricket! Run! I mean, no. Anyway, so they say Cricket, and Cricket's like, holy crap, and ducks back down. And we all know, okay, they're going to attack us. So we all array ourselves around this little spiral staircase. It's a fairly tight corridor that we're in. You know, there's a
it's sort of there's a circle of the tower, and then there's a circle of the dome, and there's not much space. It's just
we're sort of wedged in beside that sphere that I was talking about.
So the sphere's like this, and you're here, and the side of the walls go like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a little circular walkway
that pour upon you. The liquid would have nowhere to go but you.
Yeah, but that really. Oh yes, and also just before we went up, we made the decision that we were going to wreck the tower. It was too. It looks like it's too complicated to commandeer it.
I thought you made that decision after you fought the guys who came down to attack you down there.
Huh?
That was a pretty minor combat, so maybe.
I suppose it could have been.
Because
I thought it was all happening fairly quickly after that.
Oh, I think Serendipity they came down while Serendipity was wrecking.
Yes.
So in that dome area, there was energy coming in from a pipe, like a tube out the wall, coming in, whirling around and going out another tube in the same wall. So there was a bit of energy, and Serendipity did some checks, and this thing was turned up to 11. It was going way above capacity, and it was clear that it had been set to do that on purpose. Like it was not because they busted the place up; it was cranked on purpose. Mm-hmm. So she decided to crank it up, to 20. It's way above. And usually, like there's safeties preventing you from doing that, but whoever had set this up before they got there had turned off all the safety, so you could crank it way up.
Mm-hmm. So we decided to blow this popsicle stand.
Mm-hmm.
If we were to try capturing it, it would take like a crew of dozens or something to run it and all that kind of stuff. Whatever. So blow it up. So
there's time to hire all those people.
Yeah. So Serendipity Vanguard Starter Malure sets the engines on overload. The self-destruct countdown's going.
And the dome, the dome is made of
like
crappy
wooden-
twisted pieces of wood that like you can even see gaps in it. It's very like it's a dome, but it's very poorly constructed, right? It's like everything here. It's all twisted and askew, and so immediately she starts turning it up, and the boards start shooting off and blowing up. And although that didn't really happen until the end, I think of this.
Yeah.
She was doing that during the fight we're about to describe.
Right.
So
Yeah.
But
So-
they had to kind of leave that area because it was not liking what she did.
They saw
Yeah.
Cricket's head poke up, and so a bunch of drow come charging down to attack us. And we know they're coming, so we all ready our actions and stuff like that. And a bunch of minions with spiked chains come pouring down the staircase, and we just annihilate them. And so I think I heard drow above shout down orders down to them, telling them to hold us off or something like that.
Yeah, hold the line or
hold the
something.
line. And so after we just massacred those minions that came down, Cricket did a bluff check. She called up and said, "We've got them on the run. We're pursuing, but we need backup. Send more."
Yeah.
And I totally ruled on that bluff. It was a great bluff.
So the only one that wasn't a minion was like one of those wizard ones.
Yeah.
Wizard drow. She comes charging down the stairs, thinking, you know, she's gonna come clean it up, right?
Yeah.
And she just slams right into Gross's the defender, and immediately just gets locked down.
Yeah.
Can't do anything, and then a bunch of those minions also come down, and they just.
Yeah,
She's destroyed. She's not. Yeah. They destroyed all the minions almost instantly, and she stood no chance at all, toe to toe with
I've been learning a
Well, I
lot.
think Hank was there too.
Oh, yeah,
Like
it was-
the weak spellcaster
was
right next to the
horrible.
defender and the striker.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
Yeah.
I learned many drow curse words in that encounter. And so then we figured, okay, we killed the minions, we killed their boss. It's probably clear up top now. And this room is exploding. Let's head up and get out of here into the room we just lured all the defenders out of. So we go up the stairs, and no, we haven't taken all the defenders out. It's completely full of all kinds of wonderful menagerie of everything.
Yeah, so I guess I should try to describe the space.
Oh, good luck.
I used one thing of those dungeon tiles, and there was 2 levels drawn on a battle mat. And I ripped up another page of the battle mat and had another level on a third table. I guess it was on the second table, but it just that gave a place for all the combatants. There were other levels they could see, but there was no one there. Yeah. So the first level they're on, there's the top of the dome, and that there's that sort of purpley energy thing with the fungus and spider webbing that goes through the whole tower.
The warp core, essentially.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like a warp core, only with no safety railings.
Right.
A drow fungus spider warp core.
Yeah.
And there's so that's the first level. The next level up, so the tower just goes up and up, but there's a square, like a triangular, I guess, protrusion out of one corner of the tower.
The first level has a dome.
Yeah.
And just a walkway around the dome.
Yeah.
Second level up has a ring-shaped catwalk, and there's a bridge across it with a little control station.
Yes, on the one side, but on the other side was the lowest level of that protrusion.
Okay, I didn't think that started until the next level up.
And then the next level up has more of that protrusion.
The angly one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like a room hanging out the side of the.
Yeah, it's like if you it's like
Yeah.
a corner room sticking out, and there's on that level. Actually, I think on that level all there was a walkway, and then the next level up was the top of that protrusion where people were standing.
Okay.
And there were 2 drow snipers up there. Okay. So that level was the top where there's some guys doing some magic, and there's snipers, and there was also more of those. There was 2 of those black spikes that were controlling the lightning on a lower level, and there was some wizards up on there. Then, on the layers before, there was a few different. Below, there was myconids, and they were all making their way down to where the party was. And on the level below, where there was those crappy spidery rope bridges out to the platform, there was guys on that platform. There was guys on all the staircases that converged on them. And that was sort of where the combat started.
Yeah.
Just with those guys.
That's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And four levels of combat. It was,
Highly vertical.
yeah.
And then the reinforcements started coming in, but we'll get to that.
So
Yeah, this is not looking like a happy place.
My opinion throughout most of this was that we should turn right round and go back to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
We should run back down through the rooms that are exploding, because I think that's probably a better alternative.
Yeah.
But Hank,
Yeah, it's
being
kind of
Hank,
was funny. They're like, okay, let's blow up the room. Right, let's blow up the room. Okay, next room. Oh, we kind of want to retreat now.
yeah, let's go back into the blowing up room.
Alright, so if I stand on this magic circle and I fiddle with that, okay, I feel that. Alright, that'll crank it up. Crank it up more and more. Okay, 100%. Whoa! Boards exploding. Duh. I'm glad I dodged that. We better get out of this room. Yeah. Oh, spiders and myconids and drow. Maybe we should have gone down instead of up. Oops.
I actually thought it would go very well for us, because we have a bunch of cinematic points still. And what's more cinematic than running through a room that's exploding around us?
Yeah, that's true.
We'd spend our cinematic points and it would go into slow motion. It would be awesome. None of us would look behind us as it explodes.
Yeah.
So,
It's only exploding right in front of you, so...
yeah. So anyway, but Hank being Hank, he used that beam shot weapon. It's sort of like a grappling hook gun thing.
I don't think we've described it because
okay.
because I kept forgetting to mention it.
Yeah.
The party found on the very first level. Remember, there was a guy who did the blue light to grab the woman off the surface and went back up. They found that item.
Okay.
It's sort of like a leather upholstered rod with like a little handle, like a subway handle kind of, with a little blue crystal on the top, and you can shoot this blue beam and it'll attach onto a surface and it'll suck you over to that surface if you want to, or you can hang from it. So it's essentially the hook shot from Zelda. So yep, but with some restrictions. So they've sort of got
Such elaborate rules, all using a kettle as the example for some reason.
Yeah, I want the party to have a lot of freedom to solve problems using this thing, and so I didn't want there to have to be a lot of calls that I had to make, but yet there had to be some restrictions on it, so I spent some time coming up with exactly how it works, and so that I don't have to just always make a call like, oh, will it attach to a table? Will it attach to a kettle on a table? Will it attach to a wall? Well, now it's pretty clear what it'll attach to.
So what are the rules?
It behaves like it's in a video game. That was
my goal.
Yeah.
It would attach to a static mesh, but not a non-static mesh. But the way the rules work is, if you when it hits something, it strikes it roughly with the force of like a person lightly hitting something with a hammer, like, and moves more than like this. When that happens, it doesn't attach.
Okay.
So you can hit a wall, you can hit a table because it's not going to move, but you couldn't hit a kettle on a table because it would go flying. But if the kettle was nailed to the table, you could shoot the kettle on the table. So that's the basic way it works.
So anyway, Hank used that thing to grapple shoot his way up onto that bridge over the dome. There's one level up. There was a wizard, and there was one other guy on there initially, wasn't there? There were two guys up there?
If there was, no, it was just the wizard.
Just the wizard. Okay,
he went up there.
Yeah, it's a wizard on his own, so he figured, I'm a barbarian, I'll go stand next to the wizard, and that will make his day terrible.
Yeah.
And it turns out it made his day even worse than we could possibly imagine. But anyway.
The first thing he did is he got up there, climbed on, and the wizard freaked out and immediately hit him with his black lightning attack that pushed him back and tried to push him off the thing he had just climbed onto.
Yeah.
But luckily he made his save and just fell prone.
Yeah. So actually,
That's the jam stuff.
initially, Hank was the one that had a really bad day. He made a bunch of really bad rolls and couldn't hit this wizard for anything. It was hilarious. And the wizard was just freaking out and frantically beating on him with his wizard stick. And actually doing a fair bit of damage. So Hank was having a bad day initially.
I can't seem to hit anything today. This is very frustrating. Why don't you just fall down, stupid wizard?
Meanwhile, down below, all these drow are converging on our position. And we're in a little huddled lump down below. Sort of with our backs to each other. And the drow and the myconids, all the various melee-type fighters come swarming at us. And the archers are shooting at us as well, but we're basically ignoring them because there's not much we can do about them.
Yeah, because they're up 4 levels from them.
So we got mobbed. They hit us with a couple of area attacks. There was, I think that black lightning thing hit us, and they hit us with the happy spores.
But only Aurora got happy.
Yeah, only Aurora got happy this time. And we started desperately fighting back, and we were sort of holding our own, but it's kind of like, yeah, we're delaying the inevitable by a couple rounds here. And then their reinforcements started showing up. There was a sword-legged spider. Is that what it's called? A sword spider or something?
Blade spider.
Blade spider.
Yeah, there was a drow riding a blade spider who came walking down from the mist where they couldn't see, up down the wall of the tower towards them.
Dear Aderon, no, that's not right. Diary. I was feeling kind of, concerned about things. Then that tall guy with the hat. No, it wasn't a hat, it's his head part. It's a mushroom thing. He came by and I thought, everything's gonna be okay. Yeah. And then everything was fine. And then it was so funny because suddenly, out of nowhere, there was an arrow in my arm. And it's going to make it really hard to swing my arm because it's my sword arm. Oh, man. It's quite the thing. But, I think, everything's fine. Like, Cricket's all big-eyed and concerned, but we've been in tighter scrapes, and then this big, actually, I know about these things. It's a blade spider. I've always wanted to see one. I think I might have seen one before in a different life. I think, but I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever ridden one. I'd really like to. Maybe if I ask nicely, the greasy hair guy on top will let me go for a ride. That would be interesting. Anyway, it's right on top of us, and you can see the underparts of all its legs and stuff. And it's really weird looking. So I'm just kind of looking up at that right now. And Cricket's yelling something. I don't know. Run away or something. But look at the shiny sword feet. Yeah, so it's been a really good day, and it's just gonna get better, I think. Wonder what happened to that mushroom guy. I'm gonna find him.
And 4 gas spores came drifting down.
Did you correctly
from
identify
above.
them as gas spores?
We did.
Okay, so you didn't assume they were beholders.
No, we never assumed they were beholders because they look like myconid things.
Yeah, they're like myconid things in 4th edition. They're like a special kind of custom creature I made. So they identified them though. Basically, they're minions. They just come towards you, and if they get next to you, they explode with a horrible spore attack that's really, really bad. So they're easy to kill, but if they get to you, it's bad time.
Yeah.
And so 4 of them just start drifting down from the upper parts of the tower they can't see.
One of them gets to Hank, who's next to that wizard. And there's basically no place the wizard can run. They're stuck on this little platform. And the wizard knows what's coming. And he's like, because he's been freaking out from Hank, and now there's a gas spore about to explode. And so it explodes, and it's a fortitude attack, and Hank is pretty fortitudinous, so it doesn't hit him. So it only does like 5 ongoing necrotic and some nastiness like that.
But the
wizard hits him full on in the face, and he gets like 15 ongoing necrotic and horrible damage to begin with.
Yeah, when it hits it, it just starts like destroying, decomposing your nervous system from the inside out, and so the drow starts screaming.
Was it dazed or stunned or something?
You're dazed because you're just screaming. So he's screaming, and Hank mostly just shrugs it off.
Yep. So now this wizard is having a really bad day.
I was on the side, the gas spores were on their side.
I think we popped all the other ones before they got to us.
Okay, let's fight. Oh, this is bad. These guys are coming. Those big puffball things, they don't look so good. Okay, let me get rid of one of them. Okay, good. There we go. Oh, there's another one. It's going for Hank. Oh, Hank, you gotta move, Ugh. That was... Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. Gross. Oh, here was another one! Okay. Okay. That's good. Okay, they're all gone. Ugh, but there's still a spider. Oh.
Yeah, there was some challenge there, though. Like, people had to work hard to pop them because everyone had used all their dailies pretty much.
Yeah.
So people didn't have a lot of big area effect spells. It was interesting because both Hank and Aurora, who are not ranged characters, got out their bows.
Oh yeah.
They both got out their bows and just started shooting at them because they're so desperate. Because they found out that when they hit you, they do 10 plus a d6 of necrotic plus 15 ongoing necrotic, and they daze you one round. And one did hit the party, though. Remember, one came down and hit the whole party. Yeah. Because that was why Aurora was so happy, because she has that ability where she resists 9 necrotic, which never has come up before. And she was so happy that she was resisting 9 necrotic against this ongoing.
But it didn't hit Cricket.
Oh, yeah.
She resisted the initial 9.
Yeah.
And again.
Yeah.
It didn't hit Cricket because she was sort of at the back of the party, and she'd already used her Guardian's counter. That was really bugging her.
It was actually kind of annoying because the blade spider who was attacking them from above had come down and was right above them on the wall. It was in the way of the perfect place for the gas spore to explode. It did hit the blade spider. I think I critically missed on it though, so it didn't take much damage.
Oh yeah, that blade spider. There was some fun with that. It's on the wall right above us, and it's got a rider. We managed to knock the rider prone, which makes him fall off the blade spider. And so now he's like a melee guy standing next to us. And we do a bit of shoving around and stuff, and we push him off to the side a little. And then we hit the blade spider again, and this time we knock him off the wall, and he falls down. And John sort of, how did you decide where he fell?
You guys pushed him.
Because we were able to decide where he fell because the push was enough of a push. We shoved him around a bit. We made him fall on his rider and did a bunch of damage to his rider. I don't think it killed him though.
Actually, it fell on the rider and a myconid. Yeah. And actually, the rider dodged. So unfortunately, the rider rolled out of the way in just in time.
Didn't do any damage to him.
Yeah, it was really exciting, but then the rider just barely avoided it. But he did land on a myconid, I think.
Yeah, it was still fun to throw the spider at the rider though.
Yeah, everything's gonna be okay. Oh, whoa, what's whoa, the spider, whoa, that is big. That is big spider with very sharp feet things. Cricket, we should, find Hank. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's being beaten up by a wizard. That's not good. And, oh, here comes some guys down on ropes with, bows and arrows. Poison looking, apparently. Ow! Yeah, poisoned. Okay, well, Cricket, what should we do? I think maybe we should gather our party before venturing forth and venture. Maybe we should go up.
We should run.
Okay, yeah.
You should run.
Let's go up.
You should run.
Look
I shouldn't
down.
run. I don't need to run.
Explosion?
No, you should run. You run. Run, everyone run.
Okay, shh. I got an idea.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'll get ready and wait. Oh, there's a puffball thing. I'll shoot it first.
You should run.
Oh, I'm not good at shooting things.
should
I
run.
shouldn't have tried that. Okay. I'm gonna get out my sword, and when the spider comes near me, I'll stab it and freak it out, and it won't be able to hurt anybody for a short period of time. Okay, that's my plan. And where'd it go? What? It was there?
It's over there.
Yeah.
You should run.
Where's Cricket? Where's the spider?
It's over there. You should run.
You're supposed to say alley-oop.
Oh.
You're supposed to say it alley-ooped. That's what you said.
Well, yes, but okay. Sorry. It alley-ooped.
Huh? Whoa!
But yeah, I mean, throughout this whole combat, everyone except Hank is pinned down with myconids and drow all around him all the time. So just have that going on in the back of your head throughout all this other stuff.
Yeah, there's
other stuff.
And it was very tense because the party's out of their dailies and it's sort of a scary situation, and there's a lot of ranged guys who can't get to them. There were 2 drow acolytes way up top, and they couldn't reach them with their spells, but they have they tied
drow.
like spider silk and bungeed down to where they were and started shooting their spells at them from these bungee cords.
But this was great for me because they're not so good at this whole being suspended on a rope thing.
Yeah.
They're hanging right next to the warp core.
So you shoved them into the warp core?
And I've got at will that has a push. So every round there's this guy, I'm just like zoom, zoom, keep pushing him like a pendulum into the thing. He's getting really electrocuted badly from all.
Because I said after it happened, like he would swing back to where he was because he was hanging. But yeah, Cricket just kept slamming him into the because the purpley thing was sort of semi-solid, so you didn't really go into it. You just sort of splurted off of it.
Okay.
But it was bad to touch, so.
It hurts a lot to touch it.
Yeah, his momentum might have just automatically carried him back into it.
That's true.
Just let him swinging. So the tide is starting to turn a little bit here.
In the party's favor?
In the party's favor, yeah.
Other than the whole, you're being swamped by minions.
That warlock assassin guy.
Oh yeah.
Happy we're mentioning that guy. There's this warlock assassin who he turned invisible, came up behind, I think it was Croesus the first time, and stabbed him from out of the darkness and missed. And he went invisible again, went behind Cricket, and then suddenly stabbed him out of the darkness and missed.
Yeah.
That's all he's done so far.
We've been ignoring him completely.
Yeah, he's kind of the loser drow.
Has anyone gone down?
Hank did.
Hank very briefly did.
I'm trying to remember what. Oh, it was because those 2 acolytes who bungeed down focused all their fire on Hank, and also the snipers on the top are focusing all their fire on Hank, which may or may not be a great idea because they keep hitting him with the arrows, but they also have poison, and he keeps resisting the poison.
Yeah.
But anyway, the 2 acolytes just hammered Hank with these poison attacks, and then they have things where they can boost the ongoing damage they're already doing, and so Hank went down from those guys. And you're right. So you remember there was that wizard who was on the same platform as Hank who got hit by the gas spore? He saved out of his ongoing damage when he had 3 hit points left. so he was just screaming with pain, and then right at that moment Hank went down and collapsed. And so he was just
I'm gonna live.
And then Aurora or Cricket, I don't remember which one.
I think it was Aurora.
Healed Hank, and Hank starts getting up, and he just starts saying "Butter," because we already described. It's become clear Butter is their swear. It means sewage leaking from the surface. Butter, and just starts kneeling down in fear. Butter, and then Hank destroyed him with his hammer.
Almost felt sorry for the poor guy. Not really, but yeah. So
He had a bad day.
oh yeah. Well, it started off. It was a good day for him because
Yeah.
he got some lucky hits on Hank, and Hank had some unlucky misses and stuff. So around this time, some sort of public address system or whatever, magical PA system, starts announcing in drow about how there's like an overload in conduit B or whatever. All hands stabilize conduit B and return to port immediately and all that kind of stuff. And we look down through, because the dome has now got a lot of holes in it because it's exploding below us.
Conduit B is having some trouble.
Yeah, it wasn't conduit B. It's just the thing that popped in mind. I can't remember the exact wording. We look down, and there's like myconids crawling around inside this holocaust of broiling energy, trying to get to magical runes and stuff to shore them up or whatever.
And they've got those root feet that are holding them on, and they're sort of tilted like this, walking forward on their feet in the huge energy, and every once in a while one of them gets stuck down.
Right.
I think they knocked at least 2 myconids they were fighting down into that stuff.
Yeah.
They're kind of like astromech droids.
Once the dome started getting holes in it, we started getting more eager to knock people down.
Yeah.
Because previously it wasn't just like they'd fall on a sloped floor. It wouldn't be a big deal. But anyway, so we figured, okay, this is good. The place is going to get wrecked, but they seem to be trying to stop it, so we still have to keep stopping them from stopping it. Hank comes back online, and the wizard gets killed, so now he doesn't have anyone to fight on that little platform. So he uses the beam shot thing to go up to fight those snipers that have been causing us trouble. Have we killed the spider, or is it still... I think
The spider is still alive.
The spider's still alive.
We didn't actually finish the fight.
Oh, yeah.
We've been fighting this battle for 1.5 sessions so
Yeah,
far.
we'll finish it next session. Probably. Maybe. Kinda. Everyone's alive on our side. Hank actually got quite a bit of healing, so he's actually in pretty good shape there. Croesus was in trouble for a while. And then Cricket started feeding him healing potions, because I'm out of majestic words and stuff. And Croesus like grabbed a whole bunch of healing potions. He was like just slamming these things back. Because we're down to that now. We're into our healing potions.
You know it's bad when you're using healing potions in 4th edition.
Yeah, because they kind of suck.
They are terrible.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the point, though.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm desperate.
Oh yeah,
We should
Croesus
consider fleeing.
Croesus had the most wonderful freak out.
Drow mages are scary. One of them made the world into time, and time was made of glass, and I hit him, and it broke, and I could see my whole life, and all around me, and I kept hitting him, and he died, but it didn't stop. It didn't stop, and I could see everything just kind of turning and flashing all around me, and now there are spiders.
He was using a whole lot of abilities that he did. This one thing that caused like stones to explode from the floor around him and start flying around. Except I don't know if you recall, one of his conceits is that Croesus has no idea he can do this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so he's fighting, and then suddenly all these stones are exploding out of the floor, and he's like, "Blah!
Drow magic!
Yeah!" He thinks he's being attacked by the stones, so he starts flailing away at the stones with his spear, and starts hitting the drow around him because he's flailing at the stones.
Okay.
And then he gets some sort of additional power, which like causes like a glowy magic effect all over his skin. And he's like, they're casting magic on me! Trying to... Yeah, he was completely wigging out there. And in the process of completely wigging out, he was destroying all the drow around him. He was doing a great job.
I have drow magic all over my body, and it feels kinda good. And that's not good at all, because the world's wound is blowing up all around me, and now I have drow wizards inside my head, and I can't fight them off because I have to fight all of the rocks.
Cricket's having a little bit of a breakdown of her own, but it's more of a quiet, thing that doesn't involve quite so much flailing around and killing. We just have to survive. Everyone just has to survive. And then we can sort it all out. We'll sort out what it is I'm supposed to do. what I want to do is not relevant. We have to survive. And if I survive at the end, we'll determine whether I'm going feral, and then we'll sort it out. Just have to make sure everyone survives. We should run. They should run. They should run. But if they don't want to, then they will not run. And I won't run either. I won't run.
Yeah, Cricket keeps
I guess the
encouraging
next-
everyone to flee, and
Yeah.
it keeps not happening.
Yeah.
I guess the next time that happens to Necrosis uses that ability, he'll be like, "Where are the drow? Where are they hiding?"
Sometimes drow can just pop into dreams and cast spells without you seeing them.
Yeah, man.
So that's roughly where things ended.
Right.
There's still a great big...
Hank's going up.
Hank's like at the top now. He's gone
Yeah.
all the way up. And the rest of us are still in a little ball at the bottom, fighting everyone piling on top of us.
Right.
But it seemed to be starting to turn.
You said that they were getting reinforcements. Where were those?
Oh, that was the gas spores and the spider rider and all that kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So they came from somewhere up above.
Yeah,
where
it
you
wasn't so
couldn't
much.
see.
Yeah, reinforcement says you couldn't see. They couldn't see them when they entered the room,
Right.
And they just came into view in round 2. The reinforcements won't be here till the next round.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where we are.
You guys have killed a lot of people in this thing.
yes, we have.
Man, this beam thing is so much fun. I want to keep using it. I wish the other guys had one too. I guess I can share it, but it'd be more fun if we each had one and we could zip around the battlefield and get everybody. And oh, man, I love this thing.